7. Shade. Loving fruit trees you can actually grow in pots. No direct sun required. And most gardeners have never even heard of a single one. Here's something that's going to make you angry. All those shady corners in your yard, that north-facing balcony, that spot under the eaves where nothing ever grows, you've been walking past them for years, convinced they're worthless dead zones. Why? Because every gardening book, every extension office pamphlet, every well-meaning expert told you the same thing. Fruit trees need full sun. 6 to 8 hours minimum. No exceptions. So you listened. You moved on. You gave up. Here's what they didn't tell you. There's an entire secret world of fruiting trees and shrubs that were literally born in the shadows. They evolved under the dense, dripping canopies of rainforests and cloud forests. They don't just tolerate shade, they actually crave it. Put them in full sun, and they'll burn. Put them in shade, and they'll reward you with fruit so exotic, so intensely flavorful, that your neighbors won't even recognize what they're looking at. And here's the kicker. Every single one thrives in a container. If you're serious about growing rare, high-value plants in spaces everyone else has written off, hit subscribe to Botanical Bounty right now. Because what you're about to discover isn't in any mainstream gardening channel. Miss this, and you'll keep planting the same 5 boring things everyone else grows. This countdown runs from number 7 to number 1. The absolute king of shade fruit trees. And trust me, number 1 is going to permanently rewire how you see those useless shady spots. Number 7. Fuchsia berries. Wait, fuchsia? The hanging basket flower your grandmother had on her porch? Yes. And this is going to break your brain. Almost nobody knows this, but those gorgeous, dangling bell-shaped flowers, on varieties like Fuchsia splendens and Fuchsia boliviana, turn into plump, dark, tubular berries, completely edible. The flavor? Imagine a delicate cross between kiwi, fig, and grape, with a mysterious peppery finish. It looks like an alien grape. It tastes like something you would find at a $300 a plate restaurant. Why it makes this list fuchsias are ultimate shade lovers. In their native cloud forests of Central and South America, they grow entirely in the dappled understory. They despise direct sun. Too much light scorches their leaves and kills fruit production stone dead. They thrive in partial to full shade, perfect for patios and balconies. Hardiness, zones 9 through 11, but because they are small and naturally love being root-bound, they are ideal for containers. Bring them indoors to a cool room over winter, let them go dormant, and they will bounce back in spring. Growing tips: use a rich, well-draining, slightly acidic potting mix. Keep soil consistently moist, but never soggy. Bonus: the flowers are edible too. Toss those vivid petals into salads, then harvest the dark berries for dessert. 2 edible crops from 1 stunning ornamental shade plant. Number 6. Salal. This one flies so far under the radar, it's criminal. Salal is an evergreen shrub native to the Pacific Northwest. If you've ever bought flowers, you've probably seen its glossy green leaves used as filler. What the florists throw away is the treasure. Salal produces clusters of dark blue, almost black berries that look like slightly fuzzy blueberries. The flavor is earthy, sweet, and complex, like blueberry crossed with blackcurrant, with a whisper of wild mint. Shade tolerance, legendary. This plant evolved on the floor of towering redwood and Douglas fir forests. It literally survives in the deep shadows of 300-foot trees. Full sun stresses it out, and shade makes it thrive. Hardiness, zones 6 through 9. Incredibly cold hardy. Because it has a shallow spreading root system, it does not need a deep pot. A wide, shallow 10 to 15 gallon container works perfectly. Growing tips: acidic soil, an azalea or rhododendron mix. pH 5.5 to 6.0. Do not let it dry out. Bonus: Salal berries are a nutritional powerhouse. Indigenous peoples of the Pacific Northwest relied on them for centuries, pressing them into cakes and drying them for winter. Packed with vitamin C and flavonoids, you are not just growing fruit. You are cultivating ancient edible history on your patio. Number 5. Midyim berry. If you want to make your gardening friends violently jealous, this is it. Midyim is a low-growing shrub from Australia's eastern coast. The fruit is mesmerizing. Small, soft, white berries covered in striking purple speckles. They look like tiny edible bird eggs. The flavor is a wild combination of blueberry, sweet apple, and a spicy hit of cinnamon and nutmeg. It literally tastes like baked autumn dessert right off the branch. In the wild, Midyim grows as an understory plant beneath tall eucalyptus trees. It prefers dappled filtered light or afternoon shade. It genuinely dislikes harsh afternoon sun, making it perfect for covered balconies or shady deck corners. Hardiness, zones 9 through 11. Its compact habit, rarely over 2 feet tall, makes it easy to overwinter indoors in colder climates. Growing tips: it grows naturally in sandy coastal soils, so your potting mix needs excellent drainage. Mix standard potting soil with generous amounts of perlite and sand. Widely considered by chefs to be the most delicious of all native Australian bush foods, it is highly sought after in high-end culinary circles, but too soft to ship commercially. You will never find this in a supermarket. The only way to taste this spicy, sweet, speckled fruit is to grow it yourself, in a simple 5-gallon bucket, in the shade. Number 4. Himalayan Honeysuckle. Also known as pheasant berry, this hollow-stemmed, bamboo-like shrub produces some of the most bizarre and delicious fruit you will ever taste. In late summer, beautiful dangling chains of white flowers with deep burgundy bracts appear. Those flowers turn into dark purple, almost black berries. When perfectly ripe and soft, they taste exactly like burnt caramel, dark chocolate, and black treacle. It is a rich, decadent, dessert-like flavor that does not taste like fruit at all. Shade adaptation. Native to cool, shady forests of the Himalayas and southwestern China, it evolved to grow near streams under heavy forest canopies. Shade is its happy place. In hotter climates, full shade is actually required to prevent wilting. Hardiness. Zones 7 through 9. It grows fast but responds brilliantly to hard pruning, making it stellar for containers. Cut it to the base every winter, and it explodes with vigorous, fruit-bearing growth next spring. Growing tips. Because it grows so fast from the roots, cold climate growers can protect the roots in a pot in the garage over winter. Bonus: the berries are incredibly delicate and ferment almost immediately after picking. That is why they have zero commercial value. But for the home container gardener, they are a goldmine. Walk out to your shaded patio, pick a handful, and taste caramel and chocolate without stepping foot in a kitchen. Number 3. Chilean guava. If you haven't tasted Chilean guava yet, you're missing out on something extraordinary. This plant has royal pedigree. In the 1800s, it was reportedly Queen Victoria's absolute favorite fruit. She loved them so much, she tried to have them grown commercially all over England. The fruits are small, bright red spheres that look like tiny cranberries, but the smell and flavor are an intoxicating burst of wild strawberry, cotton candy, and vanilla. You can smell a ripe Chilean guava bush from 10 feet away. It perfumes the entire patio. Shade requirements. Native to volcanic slopes and forest edges of southern Chile, this evergreen shrub is naturally adapted to cool, shady, damp conditions. It actively hates dry, blazing heat. In hot climates, full sun will kill it. It demands afternoon shade or dappled filtered light. Container growing, practically perfect. A slow-growing, incredibly tidy shrub that naturally shapes itself into a neat dome. It rarely needs pruning and looks like high-end ornamental topiary. Hardiness. Zones 8 through 10. Plant in a 10 to 15 gallon pot using acidic, moisture-retentive soil. A camellia or blueberry mix is perfect. Bonus. The leaves can be dried and brewed into tea that tastes remarkably like wild strawberries. And because it is evergreen, it provides lush, deep green visual interest to your shady container garden in the dead of winter when everything else looks like sticks. A royal fruit, fragrant tea, and beautiful evergreen shrub, all in a pot in the shade. Number 2. White Alpine strawberry, pineapple crush variety. You might be thinking, a strawberry? Everyone knows about strawberries. Not quite. This is not about massive, waterlogged, red supermarket strawberries that need blazing sun. This is about the true woodland alpine strawberry, specifically white soul or pineapple crush varieties. These do not produce runners. They grow in neat, clumping mounds. The berries are tiny, elongated, and stark white to pale yellow when fully ripe. Because they lack red pigment, the flavor profile is completely different. They taste intensely of ripe pineapple, vanilla bean, and concentrated strawberry syrup. They melt in your mouth. Shade adaptation. Literal forest floor natives. They evolved to grow under the dense shade of European and Asian woodlands. Put them in baking afternoon sun, and they will crisp up and die. Put them in a window box, on a north-facing balcony, or a small pot under a larger patio tree, and they will produce continuous, wildly sweet fruit from late spring to first frost. Hardiness. Zones 4 through 9. Insanely cold hardy. Growing tips. Rich potting mix packed with compost. Keep consistently moist. Massive bonus. Because the berries are white or pale yellow, birds and squirrels do not recognize them as ripe fruit. They rely on red coloring to know when to strike. You can leave these growing completely unprotected on your patio, and local wildlife will ignore them. You get 100% of the harvest, 100% of the time. And number 1, Grumichama, the absolute king of shade fruit trees for container growing. If there is one fruit tree that deserves a spot in that shady corner you gave up on, it is this one. Often called the Brazilian black cherry, this is one of the rarest, most highly prized fruiting plants you can legally acquire. The fruit looks almost exactly like a dark, glossy Bing cherry, complete with a long stem. The flavor is phenomenally sweet. It tastes like a melting, sugary, dark sweet cherry, with subtle exotic hints of plum and tropical jaboticaba. It has a melt in your mouth, jelly-like texture that is genuinely addictive. Here is what blows people's minds. True sweet cherries require massive amounts of full sun and hundreds of chilling hours in winter. Grumichama does not. It is an understory tree native to the coastal rainforests of southern Brazil. It evolved to grow in thick, humid shade beneath giant rainforest canopy trees. It will fruit prolifically in partial shade, dappled shade, or even heavily filtered bright light. Container growing masterpiece. It has glossy, leathery dark green leaves that flush bright crimson red when new growth appears. It looks like a ridiculously expensive ornamental plant. It is slow growing with a shallow root system, and it can live in a 15 to 20 gallon pot for a decade without needing to be repotted. Hardiness zones 9B through 11. Because it naturally grows small and stays compact in a pot, it is incredibly easy to wheel into a garage or a sunny room during winter freezes. Growing tips: slightly acidic, well-draining, rich soil mix. Keep it watered. Bonus most tropical fruit growers do not know: Grumichama does not just fruit once a year. In a well-managed container, once mature, it can flush with beautiful white flowers and produce fruit 2, 3, or even 4 times a year. From flower to fully ripe fruit takes only about 4 weeks. Multiple rapid-fire harvests of exotic sweet cherries in a pot, in the shade, completely bypass the rules of traditional fruit growing. Why is everyone still trying to grow temperamental apple trees? So there you have it. 7 fruit trees and fruiting plants that absolutely laugh at shade and thrive in containers. From the caramel-tasting Himalayan honeysuckle at number 4, all the way to the Grumichama at number 1, the tropical sweet cherry of the understory. Here's what to do right now. Look around your space. Find your shadiest corner, that spot you completely wrote off because you thought nothing good could grow there. There is a very good chance one of these 7 plants belongs in that exact spot, producing rare, ridiculously flavorful fruit that nobody around you is growing. If you are not subscribed to Botanical Bounty yet, think about what you almost missed today. 7 rare fruit trees, exotic flavor profiles, USDA hardiness zones, container strategies, botanical secrets. This channel goes exactly this deep every single time. Leave without subscribing, and the next video, exactly like this one, will go straight past you, and you will never know what you missed. Hit subscribe. Turn on notifications, because this content does not repeat itself, and neither does a missed harvest season. Now go find that shady corner. It has been waiting for you.